So in this video, I want to go through the pros and cons of 5 best areas that, in my opinion, are the best investment for your money. Now with that, I will cover the areas that have seen the most percentage increase in ROI and the ones that are up and coming as well. To make it more interesting, I will look at different areas and also different budgets so you can see where you can play in this market. Maybe you have a higher budget so you can have a quicker return on your money in some specific areas, or you're just starting out with a lower budget and you want to see where you can get your first investment and maybe buy a studio or a one bedroom. I will also specify the opportunity depending on the different ways to invest. Is that in cash or payment plans? I will tell you which are the pros and cons for different areas and their specific developers with the payment plans that are present there. And although there are a lot of different good areas and a lot of advertisements for up and coming areas and even new islands as well, there are 5, in my opinion, that you should definitely consider if you want to have just not only a higher percentage ROI, but also an instant cash flow if you want to rent it out. And with that, I will keep it simple with just pros and cons and go through all of them in some specific details and overall give you a perspective on these areas for potential of growth as well. The first area that I'm going to talk about is Business Bay, and this is a more central location, very close to downtown. It's actually neighboring downtown, so people sometimes confuse Business Bay with downtown. It's a few minutes from Burj Khalifa and Dubai Mall, which are the tallest building in the world and also the largest mall in the world. So it's very, very convenient if you are living here long term, but it's also super convenient if you're just a tourist or you're visiting Dubai for a short period of time and you just want to rent out a one bedroom for, let's say, a month. And with that, the pros are that is a central location. It's super well connected with everything around it. It's actually not very far from the beach, so it's only about 15 minutes drive to the Jumeirah beach, and also there is Kite Beach, and not too far also even from Dubai Marina, which is 30 minutes, right? Since it's very close to Burj Khalifa and Dubai Mall, it's also considered a touristy location, so you will have a very big inflow of tourists coming around during the year, which will also keep your prices quite constant even in the lower seasons, since there are a lot of people coming in and out of Dubai and there are a lot of stopovers as well here. So many people, when they come to Dubai, they just want to stay for 1 or 2 days, and usually they will pick either downtown Business Bay or Dubai Marina. So it's a really good place for any tourist activities and for your investment as well. Just because of its central location, it also leads us to the third pro, which is a limited supply because it's already being built. It actually still has a lot of construction. Even behind me, there is some construction by the bay. However, I do believe that it's going to end very soon comparing to other areas that are far back in the desert. And you have to know that this is quite a big bonus because with limited supply, there will be always higher demand, and that will also make not only the rent price increase, but also your price of the property increase, and you will be easily selling it in the future for quite a significant margin. The fourth pro is that it has a pretty good value for money. Even nowadays, with all these buildings having been completed recently, it still holds a very good value comparing to different larger cities in, let's say, Europe, like London or New York. It's still quite a big city, and it's becoming one of the capitals of the world. And with that, it still maintains a very, very good price for their properties around the very central location, where you can find, let's say, one studio for under 250,000 USD or a one bedroom under 300,000 USD. And this is unheard of in cities like London or New York, specifically in such central location like, say, 8 to 10 minutes walk to Burj Khalifa or Dubai Mall. That's really, really good value for money. Finally, the fifth pro is that this area has a very high ROI for the short-term lets. And again, that's because of it's being a touristy location, and you will always have a lot of demand for Airbnb. So if you're doing that or you're interested to start that, then this is your spot. And with that, there are a couple of cons as well. And the first one is that the service charges in this area are quite expensive. They're on the second place after Dubai Marina, which is the highest in the Dubai market. It doesn't have any direct access to the sea, and it also doesn't really have a community feeling, just because there are a lot of people coming in and out to Dubai. And if you even go towards the mall area, you will see a lot of tourists and not really a community vibe. Also, there are a lot of businesses around, and it doesn't give you a real community vibe. However, there are still some spots, and even where I live, it's by the bay where the river is, and you can have some really nice walks in the evening. And that's probably one of the places that I would highly suggest you look into if you want to invest. The second area that I want to cover is Dubai Creek, which is a new up-and-coming area. Although it has been going on for a few years, it's already quite developed in the main area, and it's around 15 to 20 minutes drive from downtown, so it's a little bit more remote. However, it has really good offerings. Since it is made a bit more remote and it's slightly out of town, it gives you a really good view into the skyline of Dubai, and most probably from most of the apartments that you choose in there, you would still have some kind of a view. So if you're into that, that's a really good place to start with. The second pro is that it has been built by a very high quality developer, which is Emaar, and this is a government owned company in Dubai, and that gives you real high quality finishes in your apartment. Not only that, you also have a really nice atmosphere around, because they always try to blend the lightnings and also the nature, so you would see a lot of vibrancy going on in there. The next pro is that it's an up-and-coming area, so you will still have quite a lot of development in the backside of the actual area that has been already built and people live in. So you have a lot of opportunities there to invest, and I think the prices will still go up and up, so that's a very good place to start. But besides that, you have already very good restaurants, you have really nice hotels. So if you have visitors or you just simply want to go for a drink after work, then you can go to, let's say, Address or to the Courtyard, and you'll have really amazing views of the city, and it's just close by to your apartment. Next pro is that you have a really good community feeling. You have parks, you have people going for walks, for bicycle rides, or for even skating. There is a skate park around, so that's really nice when you compare it to downtown Business Bay or any other areas that are a bit more remote without this kind of feeling. Although there are also cons for Dubai Creek, and the first obvious one is that it's quite remote from anywhere in Dubai. Although you can easily get to downtown in around 15 minutes driving your car, you still need a car. So you don't really have some good public system transportation, and you don't really have access to, let's say, Dubai Marina, which is in the other end of the city. The second one is that there is still a lot of land available, so you will see and even experience a lot of construction going on around your place. So if you do want to invest, you should definitely be careful and think about your future renters. Maybe you can get a place which is already built and doesn't have much construction going on around, or if you do get something in the construction site, try to get something that will be finished by the end of your payment plan. Also, this place is becoming pretty expensive, even though it's remote. It has a very good reputation, and it has a really good developer that did all these buildings. So people really want to invest in there. People want to live in there. I personally am considering moving in there. So it will experience slightly higher prices as well. The third area that I want to cover is Meydan, an area that not many people know about, but I'm pretty sure it's becoming more and more popular, and you will see why. There are quite a lot of pros that you should definitely consider when you're looking for your next investment. First one, it's a up and coming location. There are a lot of really good spots that are being built. It has a great developer, which is Sopa, and they have been building forever, and you have quite a few buildings already in there. So you can go in, you can check it out, you can see the finishes are really high quality. So I think that's a big plus for the area. It also has other high quality residences like District 1, and I've personally seen a few of them. It really gives you a very nice community vibe. Filling. It also is a free zone area, so if you're interested in opening up or setting up your international business in there, you can literally doing from your apartment's doorsteps. Next pros is that it's actually not very far up from downtown, so it's just 10 to 15 minutes drive there, and it also is quite close to some other areas like Jumeirah or Dubai Hills, so the location is pretty good. And finally, it has amazing views to downtown, so if you choose a apartment with a downtown view, you will definitely be guaranteed some scenic views with Burj Khalifa. And now the cons for Meydan is that it has a lot of land available. There is a lot of construction going on everywhere, so not sure which developers are expecting to finish building very soon. So you might expect some construction going on in there. It is also quite expensive comparing to downtown and Business Bay, which are already up and running. And if you're looking into instant cash flow, then it's probably not Meydan. I would say if you want to invest for the long term and you want to profit from the margins that you make on your apartments after they are completed, then you should look into Meydan. But if you want to rent the apartment straight out, then you should better look into downtown or Business Bay. Therefore, just because of all this construction and being a bit far off from downtown and Business Bay, it also doesn't give you a community feeling yet. So in the future, I think you will definitely expect it, especially in some of the areas of Meydan, such as District 1, which I mentioned, that has insanely great community area. And I think it's going to be happening very soon for the other parts of Meydan, but you should be careful where specifically in there you want to look in. The fourth area that I want to cover is Dubai Hills, and this is an area that has been super popular, not only recently, but for the past 5 years. And I'll tell you exactly why, because it has quite a lot of pros that you might be interested in. So the first one is that it has a very good community vibe. It also has lots of greenery and it has been built, which means that you won't really see any construction going on around your apartment, just in very remote areas that are continuing. There are a lot of really nice parks. There are a lot of playgrounds for your kids to play. There is even a golf course in there, so you have everything that you want for quite a very good life, I would say. It was also built by a great quality developer, which is again Emaar. So everything there, it's mainly built by Emaar, which also includes a very nice mall, which is Dubai Hills Mall, and it's just at your doorsteps. If you are lucky, you can also get some really good downtown views, although there is also very limited supply, which is also a pro for an investor because your price will always go up and also your rent will always be in demand. Nevertheless, the great amenities around make it quite a very good investment, I would say. And there is also a lot of restaurants going on and being built every single day. So yeah, overall, I think there are quite a lot of pros, but it still has its downsides, so let's cover them as well. First one is that it's still quite remote. It's actually located just in between downtown and Dubai Marina, so you will still need a car. Nevertheless, this is possible. However, many people would argue that it's still inconvenient. And second one is that it's very family oriented, which I wouldn't really put it as a downside. It's just a downside for those who are looking for a more active lifestyle. And although, again, even this argument is not necessarily true because you have the parks, you have all the amenities around you, it's still, it's not a very good lifestyle for someone who just moved to Dubai, I think, just because the community there, it's kind of formed, they know each other. So you usually move into there if you lived in Dubai for some time. Although for you as an investor, this doesn't really matter, so you shouldn't really look at this as a cons. Besides this, the prices are also going up and up. So just because the supply is very limited, so that's a downside for you if you want to purchase in there, because you won't really have a lot of availabilities. So again, you can look at it as a downside, but you can also find the opportunity in this downside and find something really great for your money and make some extra profit in the next few years. The fifth and final one that I want to cover is City Walk, which is a more expensive area, is on that higher, pricier side of areas in Dubai. However, if you have the money and if you're interested to make some really, really high returns, then this is definitely the spot that you should be interested in. So first, bro, it is a very central location. It's just a few minutes even walk from the beach, and it is also just a few minutes drive, maybe 10 minutes from Dubai Mall and Burj Khalifa. So it's situated very close to downtown and Business Bay, but it's still kind of remote and you have more space for yourself. And also the houses are not very big, which means that you will actually have more space inside and you won't have so many neighbors around you. The houses are mainly 3 to 4 floors, so there are not too many apartments in the buildings, which makes it more private, definitely more private than downtown. City Walk was built by a superb developer, Meraz, which has also built the Blue Waters Island. And if you want to check that out, I'm pretty sure you will be impressed and you'll understand what I'm talking about. They are quite well known of their very superior quality, and I think they're actually Dubai, which also makes it very non-available because they only built a few buildings and they have some limited supply. So if you are lucky to get in, I think it makes a very good ROI for you. If we speak about the amenities around it, it's really good. So they have all kinds of restaurants around it. They have different malls as well in walking distance, which is very rare in Dubai. They also have loads of shopping around. So if you're looking for that, then I think that's the perfect place. Yet again, as an investor, you should be interested in the value for your money. So if you find some good deals in there, just benchmark them with the other competitors, as in the other apartments that have been sold in the same area, because most probably they're all built by Meraz, but just compare with the prices that have been in the past, so you can understand that you're paying a good value for it. And with that comes the cons. There are quite a few downsides of this area, although they are mainly financial. So just because the area has been mainly built by Meraz, which is a superior developer, you will experience significantly higher prices in the market. You most probably will have higher down payments just because a 20% in City Walk will probably be equal to a 40% in Business Bay, and it's simply because of the prices of those apartments. And finally, everyone in this market wants quality, so that makes it simply very competitive for you to get in, and it makes it very difficult to actually even bid for that apartment. So comparing to all the other areas where you can just go to your developer and or contact your agent and purchase or make an offer for an apartment, in City Walk it's actually not the case. You have to bid for the apartment, and if you're lucky, you can invest. Finally, there is also no water around because although it's super close to the beach and also to the Business Bay, it's still not having direct water access. So if you're interested to see the sea or you want to have the river views, then this is not an area for you. And again, as an investor, you don't really care. So in this case, I wouldn't really look at it as a downside. So with that, I've covered the 5 favorite areas, in my opinion, for any investor that is looking to get into the Dubai market. I think that's really the place where you should and you will get the better value for your money. Also, there are quite a few other high ROI areas, which include such places as JLT, Marina. They're a little bit older, so you would probably experience lower quality or just buildings that are older and not super well maintained. However, they are super touristy, so you will definitely have the renters paying the money, and you will also be able to do short lets on Airbnb because there are a lot of tourists and a lot of inflow every single year, so you will be able to charge more for that. Another place which I've mentioned a few times, but I haven't really specified it as my top 5 ones, is downtown, which is very close to Business Bay, obviously, and just because of that, it's actually pretty populated. So it was the first place in Dubai that has really had all these high rises being built. So now it's pretty much built. There are really high prices. So I don't think the ROI is really high. It's probably going to get you maximum 8% a year. Yet besides downtown, there is also another area that I want to mention, which is Arjan. It's not really popular for the investors nowadays. However, I think there is huge potential in there because there is really good quality and there are very high quality developers playing in that area and building every single day. And you also experience the slightly lower costs for that just because it's a bit outside the downtown and Marina. However, I have personally lived in an Airbnb in Arjan and I found it quite interesting. The prices there will probably be half the price of downtown, yet for short-term lets you can charge maybe 25% less. So you can see there is quite some margin to be made as well. Anyway, I hope you found all these insights helpful, and I will be looking for your inquiries if you have any. If you have any other comments or questions, just feel free to drop a comment. I will try to reply as soon as possible. And again, thank you for watching and see you next time.